Hello, all. This is Dr. Dave Maslach talking about reciprocity.com. The E is spelled with a 3. In this particular video, I really wanted to talk about why you should save money for the future. This is part of my small business and startup strategy series. I'm a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And this is something that's really important to me. I'm going to get into why I'm actually talking about that in this particular video, and then get into 3 different reasons that I think are fundamental and incredibly important, not only for business, not only for your small business, but also thinking about sort of your personal well-being, as well as creating opportunity, as well as thinking about your own personal wealth. And these 3 things are incredibly important. And you should really think about them. So why am I actually talking about saving money for the future? It seems kind of a strange thing to talk about. It actually happened in my undergraduate strategy class. One of the students I was talking about, so at the end of the semester, I talk a lot about why it's important to do personal savings, particularly if you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about creating something and building something. There's a lot of behavioral finance, behavioral ideas that go into savings that really do help you out in terms of an entrepreneur. And one of the students simply said, why should I do that? Why should I give money away why should I save all my money all my life and then just give it away to my kids when I get older? And you know what? At that moment, I was kind of frozen because it's been a while since I've actually thought about this, because I went through my own thought process, and it's been a few years of thinking about, it's been a few years since I actually thought about why you should actually save money in this sort of way. And, so I thought it would be really important to think about and to discuss this and provide this for other people, why you should actually save money. Because if you think about it, and most people think about this, right, you are robbing from the present, right? You're taking money from the present, you're robbing from the present, and then giving to the future, your future self, right? So you're always taking money whenever you're saving. You're always taking money from you right now, and it's painful. And then you're thinking about some person, whoever it is probably you in the future, right? So why would you ever want to do that? Why it's important? Why is it important? And even with your own business, right? You think about retained earnings. It's really strange, right? So you make this profits at the end of the year, you get taxed on those profits if you save any of that. Why is it important to have retained earnings when you're going to get taxed on all of those profits that you have? It doesn't make any sense if you sort of think about it that way. Well, there's 3 really big things, big reasons why you should actually save money for the future, and why it's so incredibly important for your small business or startup, or even just as you're an entrepreneur, you're a solo entrepreneur, sole proprietor, and you're thinking about developing a business or you're running a business in this way. So the first one, this is really incredibly important, is to take advantage of opportunities. So you save money to take advantage of opportunities. Most of us, the vast majority of us, are cash strapped. The numbers are basically like probably 75% of the people don't have enough money to pay their mortgages on a weekly or a monthly basis. If they missed a mortgage payment, or if something catastrophic happened, they wouldn't have enough money to pay for that mortgage going forward. The numbers are pretty bad in terms of the savings and in terms of retirements. I think I heard once in the last year, I don't know where that citation is, but for Americans, it's about the average savings is about $90,000 that they have saved for retirement. And that is like pittance in terms of living off of that from the age 65 on, right? So it's very little in terms of what people have actually saved. The vast majority of people saved. And I know those numbers can be changed and stuff like that. But I just wanted to point out that not too many people actually do that. And because of that, you can take advantage of significant opportunities that come your way. One reason is because people don't have the money typically, and they pass over some really good opportunities. So you can perform arbitrage, and you can pick up on those opportunities. Or if somebody's selling something, you can actually pick up on, because they're cash strapped, which people do all the time, you can pick up on those opportunities. I talked about that in past videos. The other thing is that sometimes investment, some particular opportunities require significant investment up front, and it's going to pay off. It's going to be a lot more secure in the long run. Well, one of them that you might think of or you might be aware of is maybe having a rental property, or maybe you have your own individual property. That requires a significant investment up front. It's a huge investment up front, but then it's going to pay off in the long run. It's pretty secure. There is a lot of other sort of scenarios, like maybe a different hedge fund that you need $100,000 to get the opportunities into that. Well, I wouldn't recommend investing in a hedge fund unless you have millions of dollars, but you still, that's a significant investment that you have to have. You have to possess millions of dollars before you can put that $100,000 into that particular hedge fund, right? So there's a lot of different sort of opportunities like that you get locked out of unless you have accumulated that wealth, which allows you to grow faster, and develop a lot faster and help out more people in the long run, right? So the second thing that's incredibly important to why you should actually save money, and this is probably in the short term, but in the long term it really matters as well, is to smooth out sort of natural flexibility and natural cash flow cyclicality that might happen, right? So sometimes there's years that are really down with whatever money you're bringing in for whatever reason. Maybe you have a lawn mowing business. I really like that example. And it's just a really wet year and you can't mow a lot of lawns, right? Or it's a really dry year and there's not a lot going on in terms of growth, in terms of the grass growing. And so you're just not going to make nearly as much money. So you need to have some money to smooth out those moments where it's going to be lower than normal, right? Your cash flow is going to be normal and lower. Most companies aren't going to be able to, a lot of companies are not going to be able to weather that out. And what's going to happen, no pun intended, what's going to happen is that these companies are going to be selected. They're going to have to exit the market through bankruptcy or something along those lines, or find another opportunity. And then you're left in that opportunity to continue to grow and move forward, right? So it's really important to have that to grow your business, to make sure that you have significant flexibility. So retained earnings are actually really good in that circumstance to smooth out in the long run these sort of cyclical things that happen. Maybe it's seasonality, maybe a year, maybe 2 years are really bad. You have really terrible years, and so you can smooth those out for whatever reason. I don't know why, right? That's important to think about that flexibility in terms of your operations. And the third thing, a lot of people don't realize this, but you can be extremely generous if you've saved and accumulated wealth. Now, on the personal side, that makes a lot of sense, right? But even for a business side, if you're thinking about developing your own business, there are opportunities where crazy things happen. And you would love to be generous for whatever reason, right? So for example, this year in Florida, I live in Florida, that there was a hurricane. Well, if you had significant savings that was sitting there, you can spend a lot, you can give a lot of that away and accumulate a lot of social capital from that, right? Lots of people are going to really like what you did because you are very generous. Jimmy Buffett, I talked about him, and that was really cool that he actually did a concert. He just gave all that money away. Now, if he was cash strapped, he would have probably not have taken that opportunity to give all of that money away to hurricane relief or something along those lines. It's really cool to be able to do that and to be able to give back, which allows you to actually grow in the long run, because you actually might get more opportunities in the long run, right? So just the fact that I think about Jimmy Buffett in a completely different way of like, wow, that guy's really cool. I'm going to probably keep referring to him, and that there's some advertising that's going on there just simply because he was really cool in giving money away, and you're not going to get access to those opportunities unless you be generous in those moments. So that's really 3 incredibly important things why you should actually save money, not only for your personal self, but only as well as for your small business or startup that you have, right? So thinking about retaining those earnings, keeping money with you as long as possible, allows you to access opportunities that lots of people can have to pass over, whether there is a certain level in terms of the amount that you can buy into, or simply that, opportunities in terms of time, they just come by every once in a while and you'd like to take advantage of those, right? Second thing is to smooth out to have flexibility in case there's sort of cash flow cyclicality or something like that, right? That it's going down and you need to have that cash flow. The third thing is to make sure that you're extremely generous, because this allows you to get more opportunities. It allows you to get access to opportunities in the future. Those are three important things of why you should actually save money for the future. It's going to help you out in the long run. And it really, truly does. I from personal experience. And there may be even like a last fourth one. You just have a lot more personal peace if you have that money available and it's just sitting there. It allows you to look at the world in a different way. From a behavioral perspective, it's a really fun thing and it's a really cool thing. You're not sort of panicking anymore once you have the savings that are there. So it really does relieve a lot of stress. So thank you so much. If you like this video, do an old thumbs up. I do appreciate it, as well as watch some of the older videos and you can see what I'm up to. So thank you so much. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.